Hello, I'm Colonel William Jennings Henderson, Jr. I was invited to become a part of Kentucky Colonels back in 1974. It wasn't long after that I was asked to be a Duke of Paducah, my hometown. I've had the honor of teaching the graduating class of 2017, 11 amazing young students. We taught out of Elizabeth Kincaid's public textbook, written in 1896. Normally we have her come and share with you a little bit about Kentucky, but we were not able to get a hold of her. So instead, we've invited some of the more interesting characters from Kentucky history to come and share their story with you today. Most people are aware of Daniel Boone, James Herod, all of those earlier pioneers. I wanted to get James Herod to come and share with you all because, well, he's sort of a mystery. He died young and no one really knows what happened to him. We couldn't get him to come, but we do have the book. Wait. James? Is that you, James?
Hang on there, Colonel Henderson. I can speak for myself. I was born around the year 1742. At the age of 10, my father left and never came back. I don't know what happened to him. Then, 2 years later, my mom had his children leave our home because she thought Indians were going to attack. She was right. While we were walking down the path from the settlement, screams started piercing through the flat forest. We were one of the sole survivors. Before I came to Kentucky County, America was applying for its independence. It was there that I lied about my age so I could help. Several years later, I fought in Lord Dunmore's War, and I distinguished myself at the Battle of Point Pleasant. In 1773, I led a group of men down the Kentucky River. Those were the good old days. This happiness did not last for long, though. While a few of my men were out on a hunt, they were surprised by Indians and attacked. One was killed. I still remember the moment when the man came fleeing down the path, warning us of impending danger. Approximately 40 of us holed up in our cabins for 8 hours until we were sure that they were gone. After this care, we returned to Virginia. This looks like a good spot. When I lived in the fort, something new happened every day. It was there that I married a young woman named Anne McDonald. We had one daughter named Margaret. And Fort Herod was a safe house. It was a haven for those living in or around it. Oh, something's on my line.
Rats. He always gets away before I get to ask him whatever happened to him. The only thing that was ever found that belonged to him after he got lost in the woods was a set of buttons. They were found on sale at a store in Lexington, Kentucky. Figure that out. If you're a 6th grader, you'll be in the class next year. You'll get extra points if you can tell us what happened to James Herod. Well, it looks like we're going to be heavy on the early pioneers. I like that part myself. If you grew up when I did, you probably watched a show called Daniel Boone. I don't know how realistic it was, but it was mostly about Daniel. But you know, the frontier women played an important role in the establishment of our Commonwealth. So today, I thought I would ask Rebecca again because Daniel could never be found. The men were always wandering around. But Rebecca was part of that first group of women who ever came and settled in Kentucky over at Fort Boone. We still have the fort down there. It's not operating. It was operating during the Civil War, but many of you have been down there. So since we couldn't get Daniel to come, I asked Rebecca if she would come and tell us a little bit about life back before the turn of the 18th century.
I'm Rebecca Boone. Have you all ever heard of the time when Daniel and I met? Well, I was out looking for a lost cow in the forest, and he was out hunting. He almost shot me because he thought I was a deer. I was so frightened that I ran home. I formally met him at his sister's wedding not long afterwards. I married him several years later. I gave birth to 10 children and adopted several others. Jemima, one of my children, should be here soon. Jemima, where is she?
Sorry, Ma. I was just taking a canoe ride down the river with a canoe flipped. I dried off before I came in.
Jemima, what did I tell you about canoe rides? Remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember that day. to go with Betsy Fanny Calloway. As we were paddling down the river, about 6 Indians jumped out of the woods. We beat those Indians with those paddles as hard as we could. They still kidnapped us, though. They made us march for 3 long days. Betsy Fanny and I tore parts of our dresses that would left us a trail for Daddy to follow. On the 3rd day of marching, Daddy and the search party overtook the Indians and rescued us. It was a good thing Daddy was around, because sometimes we can't find them. Couldn't find them again today if we would have brought them along.
Rebecca, Mama, where'd y'all run off to?
Oh, Daddy, we couldn't find you.
Well, I was just hunting some turkey and I thought... Did I do you mind me telling your Indian story? Did I ever tell you about when I was captured by Indians? 27 men and I were captured by the Shawnee Indians in 1770. We were forced to run the gauntlet. I made it through with barely any wounds. After the gauntlet, 16 others and I were marched to the Indian village of Chillicothe. They were going to adopt us when we got there. The chief, Blackfish, wanted to adopt me as his son to replace a son who we lost in the rescue of Jemima and the other guy. We were there for 4 months. Then, one day, I had them planning to attack Boonesboro. After that, I escaped and went back to Boonesboro to warn everyone there. But that's another story for another time. I wish I could tell it now, but it's getting to be late. It's been nice meeting y'all. Come on, girls, let's head home.